Hey guys, you're watching Explore the Weird. If you're into creepy and weird, make sure you smoke that like button, as well as join the Ganja Goons gang by hitting that subscribe. Let's get right into it. Oh, by the way, yet again, these are videos submitted by my very own wife. So thank you, Emily, yet again. All right, let's keep it going.
The Earth's circumference is 600 times 6 times 6, or 21,600 nautical miles. The Earth's axis, its orbital inclination around the Sun, is 66.6 degrees. The Earth's orbit around the Sun is 66,600 miles per hour. This one's hilarious, y'all. The speed of sound is 666 knots per second. Both the North and South poles are at 66.6 degrees. And let's not forget, astronaut Peggy spent 666 days in space. Good job, Peggy. Good job. The diameter of the moon is 6 times 6 times 60, 2160. The median between Venus's Cellulus 464 and Fahrenheit 867, 666. Mars is at 1.666 astronomical miles from the Sun. The Earth's circumference is 600 times 6 times 6. Look at that. 21,600 nautical miles. But what's the distance to the moon? 6 times 60 times 666? Oh yeah, 239,700. The diameter of the moon is 6 times 6 times 60. What about Ceres, a dwarf planet?
Why does this keep happening? Why? You know, there's so much number play here. It's kind of like, have you ever seen Pi 3.14? It just keeps coming back over and over again in so many mathematical formulas and things around. So I feel like maybe there's some of that going on. What is that other movie? There's like a movie where he sees like the number 23 on everything. Nicolas Cage. Does that ring a bell? Now I'm not even sure. But regardless, yeah, this is interesting. Yeah. Very nice.
Still think we're not living in a simulation after watching this?
Who is the creator of the simulation?
There was a professor at Oxford who wrote a paper about this back in 2003 named Nick Bostrom, and he thinks it's future versions of ourselves. So he thinks we're in what we'd call an ancestor simulation. There are others who say it's God or pure consciousness outside of the matrix. So all the religions, but pretty much all of them, have been telling us that the physical world is not the real world, that there's another world out there beyond this, like more than a 50% chance.
Those are pretty high odds.
As I studied the different religions, I realized that they were telling us the same thing that modern computer science, modern physics is starting to tell us about the nature of reality.
You still think we're not living in a simulation?
Bro. This is crazy. This is legit crazy. I mean, simulation, it don't almost like all the big brain guys, like such as Elon Musk, regardless of what you think of him, doesn't he also think we live in a simulation? So maybe guys, but it would be so nice. Do you guys know how to break free of the simulation? Can you please teach me how? I would like to meet the other world. I would like to just be like, hi, I entered. But would I want to come back? I like this world. The Goon Gang's in this world. We're all going together.
Okay, over the last 3 years, you have been subjected to the most massive, harmonized, globally coordinated propaganda campaign in the history of the Western world, full stop. With this campaign, the governments of many Western nation states have turned, okay, this is key, military-grade psychological operations strategies, tactics, technologies, and capabilities developed for modern military combat against their own citizens. These are inconvenient facts. The world that many of us believed existed no longer exists if it ever did. Welcome to fifth-generation warfare. The battlefield is your mind. Okay?
Whoa, wait, what? So a lot of the stuff that they're using on us, and they're coming after our minds. And what's with this hamburger thing? And why is there something being injected into it? We know about the food craziness, so somehow the food is messing with our mind. Well, we already knew the food was already harmful. You know what? I'm just trying to live here. How am I gonna live if everyone's trying to kill me? How are we gonna live if everyone's trying to kill us? What is the right course of action? So I just source my own food? That's the only way. You just source your own food. That's it. There's the solution, boys.
Commonly grow mold. One is peanuts and one is cooked rice. In 1921, Japan passed the Rice Act. You see, there was an epidemic of cardiac beriberi, which is a heart condition, all through Asia. And so the Japanese government passed the Rice Act in 1921, putting stringent rules on the storing of cooked rice, because they found this mold with its particular mold waste or mycotoxin was directly affecting the heart. So when this Rice Act went through, cardiac beriberi was wiped out. And that's why when you go to Asia today, you'll never eat day-old rice. We should eat rice fresh every day. You want to make sushi? Cook the rice in the morning, make sushi for lunch. You want to make a rice pudding, fried rice, cook it that morning and then make it a few hours later. Some say, what if you put it in the fridge? You can cook it in the morning and put it in the fridge and maybe eat it in the afternoon, and maybe you can cook the rice at night, refrigerate it and have it the next morning, but you never let it go more than 24 hours. It can grow a mold and we can't even see it. I had a lady do our program who was a pathologist. She said, when I was at uni studying pathology, there were two things that always tested positive for mold. She said it was peanuts and cooked rice. There are two foods.
Oh my God. The food narrative continues. So yeah, quite interesting. Definitely did not know this is going to mess with so many Asian folks like anything. I don't know if they know that. You know, I personally did not know this myself. I'm eating rice no matter what. You know, whether you get it from Chinese takeout or not, I'm still eating that rice, you know. And now there's mold. Wait, so wouldn't the mold die once I ingest it? Don't people eat mold and they're okay? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? By the way, are you enjoying this content? Did you smoke that like button? Did you interact with the video so you see me again? Come on.
I posted a video saying how concerts and shows are energy harvesting rituals. So let's dive into it, okay? If you're not a conspiracy theorist, you will most likely get triggered, so I'm just warning you right now. If you didn't know, there has been a satanic elite that has been controlling the world for a very, very long time. What they love is symbolism and subliminal messaging. Stuff that you cannot clearly and obviously see with your eyes, but that speaks through frequency and energy. We are beings made up of energy, actually very powerful energy. Hence why we exist in a matrix that needs our energy to continue functioning. I've made many videos about this if you want to understand more, but those who have been in control understand perfectly how human beings work. They understood that if you treat us like a dog and you wave a little treat in our face, we're gonna be so like, I want it. They understood the assignment. There are so many mainstream songs out there that sound like fluff, you know, they all sound fine, the lyrics are fine, everything is good. You have to understand that it has been recorded at a certain frequency that speaks to your energy on a cellular level. This has been shown to enhance anger, hatred, separation. It creates distortion in your energy on a fucking cellular level that you cannot even realize. And the thing about these big mainstream artists is you cannot get as famous as they get and not have to join the club. It's impossible. They don't allow you to elevate. They shut you down if you don't agree to joining. Anyways. So we, as infinitely compassionate beings, go to these events because it's so exciting. We get to dance and sing and have some fun. And the problem with this is that most people are completely unaware of the divine energy that rests within them, so they unconsciously give it away to distractions of the matrix. Because yes, concerts are distractions. Now, I know that I did go to that show and I take full ownership because my intention was to have fun. I was aware where I was placing my energy. The only problem with these types of events is that people truly think it's just a show, that there's nothing happening behind closed doors, that there's not a bigger meaning to any of this, right? It's just music. When I saw hundreds of people looking up at a stage, almost in a state of hypnosis, like, because yeah, it was Shania Twain. I went there for fucking Shania Twain. But anyways, it's fine. If you don't know this by now, you are actually God. You have infinite and divine consciousness within you at the core of your being. When I say you are God, I don't mean Jesus Christ. I mean God, infinite source energy, infinite consciousness. The people who have been in control know just how powerful you are, but they never taught you how powerful you are, because why would you teach your prey to run away? So they created a whole system where you're always disconnected from your power and you unconsciously give it away. So not only do you not know about it, but you don't even know that you're giving it, like, there you go, free pennies. Did you ever notice that our entire lives we were taught to always look up? So when we go to school, we look up at the teacher. When people go to church, they look up at the priest. When you go to fucking court, you look up at the judge. What this does unconsciously makes you always look up to someone higher as if you're inferior, which is just not the fucking truth. They always wanted to discontinue you away from your power, keep you enslaved, keep you distracted. I would much rather you go see an artist that you genuinely love, that you place yourself, you ground your energy before going there, you put yourself in a protective bubble, because not only most of mainstream artists and they do so much dark and twisted shit behind closed doors, but you can actually pick up energies when you go to events. Your energetic field goes out about 6 feet wide. When you're in a crowd, you're sharing your energetic field with everybody around you. There are some people who might not be carrying the right types of energies, and it's not their fault. Some people don't even know. This is why in the times we're in, it is so important to protect our energy and ground ourselves in light and love everywhere that we go. We are in the times on the planet where this is a fucking spiritual war, and there are oppressing forces that you cannot see with your eyes that do not want the light to come to the surface. So anybody that is stepping into their authentic light, when you go out into crowds like that, sometimes, you can leave with more stuff than you were expecting. Hence why people leave feeling drained, feeling like, ugh. I've gone to shows and afterwards, I just want to stay up in a ball. Now, yes, you can leave a show and feel energetic and happy about your experience. There's nothing wrong about that. It's the fact that nobody fucking knows what all of these artists agreed to doing, and then not only do we pay them for the shows, we go to these shows and give our energy away for I don't know how many fucking hours, singing song that was recorded on a frequency that creates distortion in our energy, singing lyrics that are programming us, probably not in the most enlightening way. That is why the power of awareness is so fucking important right now. Ground yourself in an energy of light and love. Put yourself in a protective bubble everywhere that you go. Become more aware of the music that you're listening to and the lyrics. Your brain is like a sponge. It is absorbing. The only reason that you remember lyrics is because your subconscious mind has recorded them. So now you can repeat it. But sometimes, let's be real, the fucking lyrics and songs are terrible. Anyways, this is a lot to go into, but it's time we speak the fuck up.
Wow. There was a lot to unpack there. Man. And what's crazy is I'm going to a show in, Rolling Loud, California. So that's going to be interesting now that I've gone through this. But I've been to other Rolling Loud events before, so it's just a music festival. And it's definitely an interesting take, because we do know vibrations can mess with your mood and stuff. I know she said cellular level. I don't know if there's any actual studies or stuff done on that. That's kind of what I'm interested in. But it's an interesting take. So now you get to a concert, you're listening to the music, which is affecting you in a cellular level. Somehow you're extracting energy from the crowd that is benefiting the artist, who is now taking all your energy. To me, I go to concert, I have fun, I come back, I have full energy. And then the 6 feet thing, 6 feet. 6 feet. I need my 6 feet. If you guys know the 6 feet, you know the 6 feet. Oh man, there is no way when you go to a music festival, I guess depending on what type of music festival, you're gonna find 6 feet of open space. It just ain't happening. So people are gonna impede your energy circle there. So now you have people disrupting your energy field, as she said. So yeah, it just sounds like it's not a win-win, but she herself has gone to a concert also. So it's like, I guess, just ground yourself before you go. Don't give out the energy, Teddy. It's interesting because when I went to the Travis Scott, or experienced that at Rolling Loud in New York, I was like, dude, this is wild. There's so many people that came in. They loved the music. They were there. They had fun. I got crowd crushed myself. There was no way 6 feet was in play there. I still left feeling fine. I didn't feel like my energy was stolen. I didn't feel drained. The group I was with had fun too. So that's tough. That's oh man. All right, my wife gave me one more. Let's see.
Even when someone dies physically, you are actually still given a choice to continue the physical life. Many of you have actually died, but have chosen to continue to live that physical life. Sometimes you don't know it, you don't remember it because it doesn't serve you to remember that moment of choice. Sometimes you create for yourself the idea of what you call a close call.
Right.
Ooh, I don't know how I got out of that alive. But I seemingly did. Well, the truth is you may not have. You may have actually died. But then the guides may have said, are you sure you really want to go on? Or did you want to continue the life in a parallel reality to make it seem as if you want to explore something in that life that's still going on, but you know it's a parallel reality? And you said yes. So then you will simply wake up and go, wow, that was a close one. Maybe not even remembering that you actually died and were given a choice to go on or come back. So the point is you're always in control of what's going on. So if you are still here, if you can still open your eyes, you must have made a choice that says that continuing to experience this physical reality in the way you're experiencing it is actually part of the way you wanted to evolve. There's something that's going to happen that will add to you in a way that simply going into the non-physical won't give you. Otherwise, you would leave. There is something here you're excited about doing, otherwise you would leave. Because it actually is that easy. All right? You have to learn to trust that. You have to learn that there will be surprises, and if you leave now, they won't happen. And when you get there, you'll go, oh, shucks. I was going to surprise myself, and now I have forced myself to leave, and now I won't have that surprise I wanted, so I guess now I'll do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Or not. It's all up to you. But the want to be. Even though you don't know it. You want to be. You have to trust that your life will show you what it is you wanted to be here for. And it will.
Very interesting.
All right. So I did find out more about this guy. I guess his name is Bashar. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Some of the goons tried to tell me, because now this is like the third video we've seen of him. Or second? I don't even recall. I feel like I've seen him over and over and over again. Oh boy, I'm choosing to be here, boys. So, you know, I love being with the goon gang. So do you like being with me? That's the real question. Are you enjoying yourself right now? But this is quite interesting take on, you know, those near-death experiences, NDEs, if you will. Are we really having a situation that happens in a parallel reality where your body continues? Dude, I will tell you myself, I've had some close calls, guys. I've had some close calls. There's been times where I'm just like, how the hell did I make it out alive out of these things? Or like, how is my life so different right now? There have been so many crossroads in my life that I have gone through, and I just wonder, like even a time in Slovenia where literally a matter of a millisecond, a gigantic rock falls out of nowhere, and at the area I was literally just stepped away from, and I go, dude, if I was still sitting there, I had no idea what told me to move, and I was like, if I was still sitting there, that rock would have hit my head. That would be missing half my brain, aka be dead. And that's in Slovenia, you know. It was right near a castle there, and it was just wild. And now knowing this, it's like maybe I did split. My entity continued to go, we're still here, boys, goon gang strong. So maybe this could be a plausibility. Yeah, I can kind of believe the thing that he's relaying here. I can understand this a little bit, and it sounds weird, but I can see the possibility of having timeline where that person does evade that death and continue on in that timeline. And I hope in my timeline I continue to have people that are gonna be alive. I don't want anyone And I know, it's good. Regardless, all right, let's see. All right, so that's all my wife gave me. I think we'll flip over to some TikToks. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom.
What is some dark shit going on around the world right now that the public probably doesn't know about? Humanity has wiped out 60% of animal populations since 1970. Saudi Arabia sentencing to death people who refuse to move out of their homes so that they can build Neom, their new megacity. And their relatives being sentenced to multiple decades of prison time just for protesting or merely posting their support to the cause on social media. Bacterial resistance to antibiotics is at an alarming level. There has already been instances of pan-antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria. This can throw us back to the pre-antibiotic era, which will effectively mean catch an infection and die. In Africa there is a very real and very extensive slave trade going on right now, to say nothing of the other probably 40 million living in bondage. Women going missing from Indian reservations across some of the U.S. Many are young women and probably being used for sex trafficking. There are some interesting podcasts on the subject. 70% of the world's chocolate comes from West Africa. An estimated 1.5 million child slaves are engaged in chocolate production in Ghana and the Ivory Coast, alone, not counting Nigeria and Cameroon.
Oh my god, the last one. It's about why they gotta use the children. Why? And it's like 70% of the time you get chocolate, most likely coming from that region, some child slave was used to get you that chocolate. There's no winning here, boys. What about Feastables? Maybe Mr. Beast can help us. I have a feeling he can.
What is some dark shit going on around the...
He's definitely not doing anything crazy there. So this one was the one that scared me the most, with the antibiotics that are bacteria resisting the antibiotic stuff. So I'm like, dude, this is gonna be a true thing where infections will soon be able to kill you regardless of the bacteria you have. No antibiotic can save you because it's just antibiotic resistance, resistance bacteria. You're just like, there's no hope. You just watch yourself crumble. And at some point, we got to find something that's going to be the new antibiotic that'll save you. I'm pretty sure we're going to need something. What's going to be next after antibiotics? What's going to be the thing? I'm not saying vaccines. Calm down. I see you coming after me. But what's going to be the thing? I like this theory. I'm a big fan of The Incredibles. I've seen all of it. I definitely enjoy the series here. Yeah, very well. I could see this theory being a true thing. That is wild. Very unfortunate for Mr. Incredible, though. Your wife has done this to you, but hopefully everything's all right, buddy. Maybe he was into it. Who knows?
Ever wondered what was Andy's mom's real name? Notice how Andy was always wearing a red Cowboys hat instead of a brown one like Woody's. And remember who else wore a red Cowboys hat in the show? Jesse's former owner, Emily. And also when Emily got rid of Jesse, the hat wasn't in the box. Could it be that Emily was actually Andy's mom, all grown?
Yo, I like all these. Yes. Could you imagine that's how they closed the entire universe? It was her the entire time, Andy's mom. The hat now makes sense. Her name was Emily. Oh boy. My wife's name is Emily. Maybe. Wait a second. No.
This freaked me the fuck out.
This fact.
It's the giants.
These are some more. Have you heard the theory of the Titanic and the Federal Reserve? Well, here it goes. So on the Titanic, there's some extremely wealthy passengers like J.P. Morgan, John Rockefeller, and the Rothschilds. But then you have Jacob Astor, the wealthiest man in the world at the time. He owned about 40% of all mortgages, and he was a Freemason who was very opposed to the idea of a central bank. Whereas J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, and Rothschild strongly supported the idea of a central bank. So Jacob Astor was the only one standing in the way of a central bank at the time. Coincidentally, the morning the Titanic was supposed to set sail, J.P. Morgan, some Rothschilds, and others quietly exited the ship without any explanation. 5 days later, Titanic slams into an iceberg and it starts to sink. And even though Jacob Astor is the wealthiest man in the world, he still can't find a seat in a lifeboat, and he ends up sinking with the ship. Shortly after, these guys become the wealthiest men in the world, and without Jacob Astor standing in their way, the next year in 1913, on Jekyll Island in Georgia, the Federal Reserve Act was signed into law, paving the way to print money out of thin air and completely control our monetary system. Was this a coincidence or a conspiracy?
This was a wild coincidence if it is, but it definitely feels conspiracy related. That is wild. I cannot I mean, I do believe it at this point. There's even a crazier conspiracy with the Titanic, which is the route I thought he was going to go, which was like the Titanic wasn't the Titanic in the first place. It was some other ship that they painted over. But regardless, this is still a wild thing, the Federal Reserve, and I hate the whole option of just printing money out of nothing, and that's exactly why the Federal Reserve shouldn't have been started in the first place, because this is where the whole issue started in the first place with the whole debt ceiling and everything. It solved the problems at the time, but it continued that problem all the way to our generation, and we are just stuck trying to get this debt ceiling down, guys. And you know, if the US dollar standard changes, some other new standard comes in, oh boy, you better be ready for that reckoning, because it may come quick.
You've probably heard the conspiracy theory that your favorite celebrity is actually a lizard, so here's the full reason the crazy lizard people conspiracy exists.
The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people.
For years, conspiracy theorists have accused celebrities of shifting from normal people to lizard people right before our eyes. If you look at their eyes in these real videos, you see they go from round human pupils to sharp, oval, reptilian-looking pupils. Miley, Rihanna, Taylor, Beyonce, some even go as far as to tell everyone that they are not actually a lizard.
Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no.
12 million people have gone on record saying that they believe in this theory, and David Icke has written many books about it. The story goes that lizard people are an advanced species of humanoids that existed back in dinosaur times, disguise themselves as humans, and then use their intelligence to control and dictate the world. They're able to achieve celebrity and prestige because they're way more advanced and intelligent than humans because they've been here for so much longer. They're not to be trusted because they want to plant seeds to destroy humans and corrupt them. In 2014, Justin Bieber was accused of switching back between humans. Year he allegedly shifted into full lizard form in front of hundreds of fans. Then hundreds of news sources and people on Twitter were talking about it the next day. I'm gonna show you what people said he did as a lizard, but before I do, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and requests do you want to see next. People say that his head shrunk, his eyes went black, and real-life scales formed down his body with a black stripe down the middle. He grew over a foot taller, people were screaming, crying, running for the exit, and anyone who recorded a video was forced to delete it and sign an NDA. But everyone who saw him described his physical appearance the exact same way.
All right, I'm not sure if I've seen this one before or not, but it definitely gives us the full deep dive into the reptile conspiracy, if you will. And it is weird, you know. It is hard for me to fathom someone pretending to be a human or when they're a humanoid themselves. You know, I guess that's kind of what people even say. The people in black are as well, right? So the men in black. So maybe this could be true, or it's just the tricks of the camera and very well edited. You know, it's hard to say. I've never experienced a reptilian. I've never had that experience, so you know, I'm kind of skeptical here. Yeah, interesting. But guys, that is it. If you're into creepy, weird, literally any category that you can think of, I'm probably gonna react to it. So make sure you interact with the video. All right, guys, stay safe, have fun. I'm recording on Thanksgiving, so I don't know when this video will come out to you. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.